Maple Grove's going to have it.
Right out in front, they score. Hi there, and thanks for joining us on Sports Jam. I'm John Jacobson.
I'm Jay Wilcox. This week on the show, section softball, tennis, and golf. We'll meet a track star from Armstrong who has just become a state record holder in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
And I'll talk baseball with the surging Hopkins Royals.
And let's start with baseball in the Section 6 4A tournament. While the other two Class 4A sections we cover waited until after Memorial Day to get started, Section 6 had its first 2 rounds already. Armstrong hosting Hopkins in second round play on Memorial Day. Bottom of the second, Falcons with the runner at third and 1 out. They'll test the arm of Hopkins right fielder Ben Wallin, and it's a bad idea. Wallin fires a strike, and the Armstrong runner is out. The score remains 0-0. Top of the 6th, bases loaded. Hopkins gets a big hit. John Cook cracks a fly ball to the fence, and it clears the bases, giving the Royals a 4-0 lead. Cook later scores on an infield ground out. And Wallin works the final 2 innings in relief as Hopkins advances with a 5-0 win. We'll hear from the Royals later in the program.
Wayzata is the top seed in Section 6. The Trojans dodged the raindrops last Friday to get their second round game in against St. Louis Park. This one played at Wayzata Central Middle School. Trojans already leading 1-0 in the second when Reese Smith singles to right field. Cody Getters scores, and it's 2-0. Wayzata still batting in the second. And this time it's Danny Dice with a sharp run-scoring hit to left. His single played Smith, and it's 3-0 through 2 innings. Park tied it in the third with 3 runs, but in the fourth, Dice comes through again. Smith and Engdahl will score on the 2-run single by Dice, and it's 5-3 Wayzata. Griffin Schneider will bring home 2 more runs with a single to left. Dice scores, Cam Keenan scores, and Wayzata leads it 7-3. They continue to tee off on Park pitching in this inning, and Jake Marsh caps it with a 2-run homer over the scoreboard in center field. Wayzata wins it 12-6. They'll play Hopkins on Saturday.
Maranatha is the number 8 seed in Section 4A baseball. They had a wild one in their opening round game Wednesday. Lester Prairie gets 5 in the top of the first, but the Mustangs get 3 in the bottom half. Tucker Berquist driving in Bryce Lovecheck here. In the bottom of the third, bases loaded, 2 outs. The Mustangs down 6-5. Lovecheck lifts a fly ball over the outfielder, and it clears the bases. Maranatha takes an 8-6 lead. The Bulldogs later tie the score, but in the bottom of the 5th, Tommy Satzer singles through the hole. Jake Goldschmidt will slide in at home to knock the ball free from the catcher, and it's 9-8 Mustangs. Lester Prairie levels it again in the top of the 7th when Andrew Gebhardt scores on a MCA error, and it's 9-9. Go to the bottom of the 7th. Maranatha loads the bases with 2 outs, and the winning run comes home when the pop-up drops in the shallow infield. 10-9 Maranatha is the final score. The Mustangs were shut out by top-seeded Legacy Christian, though, in the second round. Well, it's time for the area's top athletes in track and field to get ready for conference, section, and state meets. Northwest Suburban Conference athletes had their conference finals last Thursday. And check this one out. Evan McClellan of Armstrong clocks a 10.37, setting a new meet and state record in the 100 meters. In the girls 4x200, it's Champlin Park all the way. Miata Flemister Smith anchors the Rebels to the win. The boys 1600, Lucas Trapp of Elk River holds off Alex Miley of Maple Grove after Miley had won the 3200 earlier in the week. The girls shot put, Armstrong's Alexandria Hurst wins and sets a new meet record of 46.7.5. She also sets a new meet record in the discus. The girls 400 meters, Park Center's Fashayo Ayobamadelli wins at her time 58.24. And a great finish in the boys 300 hurdles. Maple Grove's Leroy Quate wins with a time of 38.69. Armstrong's Joey Frazier second in 38.70. The Armstrong girls take the team title with Champlin Park second. Elk River and Anoka tie for third. Maple Grove is sixth with Park Center, Totino Grace, and Osseo in the 12 through 14 slots. On the boys' side, Blaine is the champ with Elk River second and Champlin Park third. Armstrong is fourth with Maple Grove sixth, Osseo ninth, Park Center 12th, and Grace tied for 13th. Section meets are this weekend. We'll meet Armstrong's Evan McClellan in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
Many section golf tournaments in the state are taking place this week, but teams competing in the Section 5 3A boys tournament wrapped up playing late last week. 4 teams plus 16 individuals advancing to the second day of the 36-hole tournament. Maple Grove, one of those 4 teams. Jake Chenard with a great shot from the sand on Bunker Hill's 9th west hole. Hitting it pin high. He'll 2-putt from there for the team runner-up, Crimson. St. Michael Albertville, though, just a little bit better in the tournament. They grabbed the lone state team qualifying spot. Trey Fessler of STMA here finishing out on 9 West. As St. Michael Albertville wins it, looking at the final team scores, they're 4 shots better than runner-up Maple Grove. Centennial was 3rd with Mounds View 4th. Dylan Hansen of Maple Grove wins medalist honors with rounds of 68 and 74. Sam Franklin of Maple Grove and Michael Sorrow of Champlin Park also qualified as individuals for the state tournament. Singles and doubles play wrapped up in section tennis this week. Highlights from the quarterfinals doubles play in section 5AA late last week. Justin Leal of Maple Grove serving in the near court. He and partner Davis Pfaff playing Armstrong Trulandis and Henry Scott. Pfaff at the net, delivering the winner right down the middle there. Later in the set, Landis and Scott in the near court. This was a long rally and ends with Scott hammering home a winner. It's a good match. Maple Grove's Leal and Pfaff win, though, and they advance 6-4, 7-6. In another doubles quarterfinal match, Wayzata's Sam Simon serving here. He and teammate Peter Kornberg meeting Corey Pennick and Richard Griffiths of Rogers. Simon with the winner for the Trojans. Later with Kornberg serving, a couple of quick returns in the net by Wayzata, including the winner from Simon. They win 6-2, 6-1. Singles and doubles, semifinals and finals are on Wednesday. Good local singles and doubles players battling in that section down at Baseline.
Yeah, and most of those teams are from our area this year, so we're definitely going to have some singles and doubles advancing on the state. Coming up on Sports Jam, section softball highlights, plus a look ahead to the lacrosse playoffs. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Sports Jam, and time to talk playoff softball.
Yeah, and a real high-scoring battle between a couple of local teams. Armstrong and Wayzata meeting in round 2 of the Section 6 4A tournament. Armstrong hits early and often. Kaylin Leonard's rocket just fair past 3rd. Leah Baker and Hannah Bachmeyer score to make it 2-0 in the bottom of the first. Later in the inning, Bachmeyer singles to score a run. The Falcons get 10 runs in the first inning. But Wayzata chips away at the deficit in the 5th inning. Katie Blanchard drives it over the fence and left for a 3-run homer. The Trojans get 6 in the inning. They pull within 10-7. Leonard answers with a liner over the left field fence. This one's a solo shot in the 6th inning. That makes it 11-7 Falcons. Down to their final strike in the 7th. Wayzata's Taylor Arneson singles up the middle. Bree Westerberg is the second runner in to tie it up at 11-11 before a runner is tagged out here in the rundown to end the inning. This goes to extras in the 9th. Bachmeyer drives it to second. A great diving stop by Julia Hoffner, but the throw is too high. The winning run scores. Armstrong pulls out an amazing 12-11 win.
I think we were confident the whole way through. We were loud the whole time, which sometimes we struggle with, but this game we definitely kept the momentum going and our confidence up even when they were coming back.
In Section 5 4A, Maple Grove won its first 2 games before running into a hot team in round 3. Crimson facing Spring Lake Park in the winner's bracket final. The Panthers go up early. Sierra Ryland singles to center to bring Jazz Rickenbach home for a 1-0 Spring Lake Park lead in the top of the first. Eleanor Schutte delivers a well-placed hit off the third base bank for the Crimson to score Tara Rosacker, and this game is tied 1-1 after 2 innings. In the third, the Panthers lead 2-1. They look for more. Kylie Cruz drives the ball to the gap in right center. Ryland scores on the play. Spring Lake Park goes up 3-1. The bottom of the 5th, down 4-1. Maple Grove's Emily Mock delivers a single up the middle. Schutte scores. The Crimson are within 4-2. But Spring Lake Park keeps the scoring going. Ryland single to center, scores a run. Spring Lake Park stays unbeaten in the tournament with a 9-3 win.
In Section 4A, losers bracket play, Maranatha meeting West Lutheran down 2-0. Maranatha's Chloe Palmer drops a hit into left field. Liberty to the long scores. The Mustangs are within 2-1 in the top of the third inning. West Lutheran comes back in the bottom of the third. Laura Studansky singles to left. It brings Afton Zemke home to make it 3-1 Warriors. And that's how this one stays. Warriors left fielder Carey Price makes a nice running catch in deep left to help preserve a 3-1 win as Maranatha is knocked out. West Lutheran is playing Kimball to try to advance to the final.
Totino Grace is in Class 3A, the second largest class for playoffs. The Eagles face St. Paul Como Park in the Section 4 3A tournament. It's won a pitcher's duel except for one inning. The third starts in the top half. Grace's Sarah Waslow ripping a liner down the left field line. Waslow around second. A throw comes in, slides safely into third base. Later a runner on second as well, Aaron Pepping, with a grounder that bounces off. Waslow and Maddie Doran come in to score to put the Eagles up 2-0. Cougars come back. Cassie Prescott with a bloop that drops in, 2-run score, and that ties the game up for Como Park. Later in the inning, Delilah Wolf with a grounder brings Prescott in to score the go-ahead run. Pitchers go back to work from there, allowing no more runs. Cougars pitcher Catherine Popper getting Doran to ground out the first. Game ends. Totino Grace falls 3-2. They beat Harding, though, and stay alive in the tournament. Playoff action heats up in lacrosse this week as section tournaments get underway. In Section 5, boys play. Cadilled St. Margaret's and Blake are the top two seeds. Armstrong is third, followed by Totino Grace, Hopkins, and Providence. Breck is eighth and Cooper ninth. Cooper is at Breck in our first round game Tuesday. The winner of that game gets the tough task facing Benilde in the quarterfinals Thursday. Hopkins hosts Totino Grace. Armstrong is home to Providence, and Blake is at St. Louis Park. In Section 7, Champlain Park is the number 3 seed behind Anoka and Blaine. The Rebels will host the Centennial Coon Rapids winner in the quarterfinals Wednesday. In Section 8, Rogers is the top seed ahead of Elk River and Osseo Park Center. St. Michael Albertville is 4th, Buffalo 5th, Wayzata 6th, and Maple Grove 8th. In first round play Tuesday, Maple Grove hosts Monticello. In the quarterfinals Wednesday, the winner of that game plays at Rogers. Buffalo is at St. Michael, and Wayzata plays Osseo Park Center at Park Center.
In girls lacrosse in Section 5, Blake and Breck are the number 1 and 2 seeds with Benilde third. Then it's Armstrong, Hopkins, and Totino Grace. Cooper is at Columbia Heights in a play-in game Tuesday. The winner meets Blake in the quarterfinals on Thursday. Hopkins is at Armstrong in an afternoon contest. Grace plays at Benilde, and Breck hosts St. Louis Park. In Section 7, unbeaten Champlain Park is an easy choice as top seed. Fellow District 11 teams Coon Rapids, Anoka, and Blaine are 2, 3, 4. Champlain Park hosts the Andover Duluth winner in the quarterfinals. In Section 8, Maple Grove is the number 1 seed, followed by Osseo Park Center. Then it's Monticello, Wayzata, and Buffalo. Wednesday, Maple Grove is home in the quarterfinals. Wayzata hosts Buffalo, and Osseo Park Center also has a home game against a first-round winner that's at Osseo High School. Well, the local dynasty is still going strong. Wayzata celebrated a championship in synchronized swimming Friday at the University of Minnesota. The Trojans scored 170 points to easily beat runner-up Stillwater. Forest Lake, St. Louis Park, and Hopkins round out the top 5. Maple Grove Osseo ties for 8th, and it is the 10th straight championship for Wayzata.
Congratulations to the Trojans. Also, Jay, the state adapted softball tournament is this Friday and Saturday at Coon Rapids High School.
Yeah, we have good teams. Anoka Hennepin has had some good runs here, and trying to keep that going here too. Stay with us. Next in our Sports Jam Spotlight, meet a record-setting speedster from the Armstrong track team. We have some really good track and field athletes in the area who are likely to excel at the state meet. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet Armstrong's talented sprinter, Evan McClellan. He can flat out fly. Armstrong senior sprinter Evan McClellan is taking aim at state titles in the 100 and 200 meter dashes. He was runner-up in both last season.
I think I'm better at my 200, but I'm trying to get my 100 better because I'm trying to get to that 10.45 range.
His head coach thinks Evan has a shot to win both races at state.
I think so. What's good about Evan is how he's prepared. And Coach Weaker does a great job of training him, and we're prepping him for this event. So hopefully the weather aligned and everything aligned for him to have a good chance of winning state and as also breaking a state record.
While he's always been fast, it was about a year ago that McClellan really started to realize that his speed could take him places, like to college.
Probably my junior year and going to Florida for nationals. And that's what got me oh snap, I can actually make it somewhere if I keep doing what I'm doing.
He's learned how to get ready for the big season-ending meets like section and state. Evan says that even for sprinters, you have to hold back a bit and not go all out in training.
You don't want to be doing that when you're running. You want to actually pace yourself out, know what you can do, and be good. For prelims, I don't want to just try to keep trying to break a record because I'm trying to slow myself down. So when I get to state, I can actually break a record there.
McClellan put his speed to good use last fall for the Falcons football team, rushing for 705 yards and 8 touchdowns while averaging 8 yards per carry. Track may have surpassed football in his world now, but he still likes both.
Football was a big thing for me. I really liked it, and then until I got into track, I think I started going more towards that because it was more fun to me, and I was actually winning just solo by myself. So that's what got me to like track more.
It was a great year for Evan. Again, we knew he was a real fast kid, and just trying to find ways in football to make sure we used him, got him the ball at the right spots. So Evan had a great year for us. He's not the biggest guy at about 160 pounds, and so you worry about endurance and some of that stuff with giving him the ball a lot. But you know what? He's a real tough kid. He had a great football season for us.
For an athlete as accomplished as McClellan is in track, the possibility of getting injured in a rugged sport like football is something he had to consider.
I did get hit a lot. That was like my junior year. And I think my senior year, that's when I thought about hey, I gotta stop getting hit like that and not try to get hit in the legs. I know there's people out there that want to go for my legs and oh, I'm gonna mess up his track career now if I hit his legs. So I was yeah, I'm gonna be more cautious and stuff like that.
He's had quite a bit of interest from Division I track programs, with the University of Minnesota being a possibility. Evan McClellan wants to go out with a bang as a high school athlete. He says one thing's for sure, nerves will not get the best of him.
I told myself I'm not gonna get nervous for any meets. So once I get on that track, I'm just focused in, not nervous at anything, just winning my race.
Evan is competing at the Section 6AA meet this week with finals Thursday at Hamlin. He's hoping to break the state record in the 200 at sections or state. The 100-meter record he broke was held by former Champlain Park and U of M star Ibrahim Kabia. Sports Jam returns in a moment as John talks baseball with the Hopkins Royals.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. The Hopkins Royals have advanced to the winner's bracket final of the Section 6 4A tournament. They join us now on the show, and we'll start with Jeff Cooper. And Jeff, a couple of wins in the section tournament, including Memorial Day against Armstrong. And tell me about the win over the Falcons.
Well, they're a great team. It's always good to come out and do what we can. We're going to battle and they're going to battle. We get in some tough situations and we trust what we've prepared and what we've done to get here. And we just rise to the occasion. We like to play good teams. Berger stacked our schedule. We had a tough time, middle of the year. We lost some games and we were sliding, but he told us we play up to these teams. We play good teams, and ultimately that's going to serve us well. So,
how important is it when you get into tournaments to just stay in the winner's bracket and not have to fall back? You wouldn't have been eliminated with a loss today, but it sure makes it a lot tougher, doesn't it?
Definitely, it's big. Fewer arms you have to throw, fewer games you have to play. We're lucky we've got a lot of depth pitching, but the fewer games that you can play and get closer to the championship, the better.
Jeff, good start in the tournament. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
John Cook had a big 3-run triple in the win against Armstrong. Tell me about the pitch you saw and the at-bat.
Well, right before that bat, they just had changed the pitcher and put in a new pitcher. And so I was talking to my coach, actually, Coach Berger, and he just came up to me and said, just find your fastball, find your pitch, and just get a hold of it and put one out there, do something, make a moment right here. And saw a curveball, wasn't in the zone, and I just expected the pitch, and it was right there and felt good off the bat.
Jeff mentioned the kind of tough stretch that you went through in the middle of the season. How did you guys get the confidence back and be able to build some wins? You had a nice non-conference win late in the regular season against Totino Grace and a couple wins here in the section tournament. How did that happen?
Coach just kind of said we needed to start pulling our stuff together, and everyone started stepping up to the plate and pulling their own weight, and we started to get some dubs and some wins, and it really helped out, and it's all starting to tie in right now, right when we need it.
A few days off now before you face Wayzata Saturday at Siebert Field. Do you look forward to playing at a venue like that?
Oh yeah, I've played there a couple times, and it's always a great field to play at, so I'm really excited.
Congratulations on this win, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Coach Pat Berger, tell me about this group of guys and how they've held it together and be able to rebound here nicely in the section tournament with a couple of wins to start out.
Yeah, they're an awesome group of kids, first and foremost. A lot of seniors. You know, we've got, I think, 13 seniors this year, and they're leaders. They pick each other up. They play for each other, and you know, we talked about it the whole year. You got to play your best at the end, and I feel like we're doing that.
How much does that help having this the number of seniors that you do and be able to kind of pull through the tough stretch that you had?
Yeah, you know, it really does help out a lot. You know, John is a 3-year varsity starter. Catcher Max Wiesner is a 4-year starter. You know, and you can't make up experience, you know, and so they've been through it, and they've lived it, and they've been through the ups and downs, and so yeah, you rely on them, and they just do a heck of a job.
Face Wayzata on Saturday, team that's had a lot of success this year. What do you expect from the Trojans?
I expect a really tough game. You know, they're you know, there's a reason that they're the #1 seed. There's a reason they've been #1 in the state all year. You know, we expect that we'll see, you know, Scoro, their big lefty, and you know, we've battled them 2 times this year, and one time we were close with them, and you know, it's going to take a game like today. It's going to take putting it all together, you know, to minimize errors and get big hits in order for us to win it. You know, so we'll do what we can.
Right. Pat, enjoy this one for a few days, and good luck at Siebert Field Saturday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hopkins Royals 2-0 in this Section 6 tournament. Again, they advance to the winner's bracket final. They will play Wayzata Saturday at noon at Siebert Field in Minneapolis. We'll take a break and come back and wrap up the show. First, here's our plays of the week.
Little soft liner, long run, and Westerberg tracks it down.
Mark June 16th through the 18th on your calendar for the annual Tater Days Festival in Brooklyn Park. Find out more at 12.tv under the In the Community tab.
And that will do it for this week's program.
It's a busy week ahead, a lot of section competition and all kinds of sports, and we'll do our best to get to all of it. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Sports Jam.